Hey everyone, it's Miss Phillips here to teach a lesson on Duolingo and kind of show you how I use it in my classroom with my students. If any of my students have any questions, they are free to ask them. So this is Duolingo. Duolingo is a website that's been out for a few years now. It's a tool that helps you to learn grammar of a language. Now, it's not perfect. You don't become fluent at a language from using Duolingo, but it's a really great way to just practice and to learn a lot of the basic concepts and to study them over and over and over in a way you may not get in the classroom. So I'm going to show how to sign up for it, and I'm going to show its main features and then talk about how I use it in my own classroom. So to go to Duolingo, you head to duolingo.com, click Get Started, and you pick the language of your choice. They offer a lot of different languages, including, for some reason, Klingon and High Valyrian, which I believe is from Game of Thrones. And it's not real, but or Esperanto, which is definitely not a real language, but we like to pretend it is. Okay, since I'm a French teacher, I'm going to be clicking on French. Wait for it to load. It's going to ask you to choose your daily goal. This really doesn't matter. It's just how much you're planning on doing in a day. I'm going to be lazy and be a dirty casual. All right. You can sign up with whichever account. So you can sign in with your Google account or with Facebook. I'm going to click Not Now. Now, if you already know the language, you can try a placement test, and it will put you further down the tree than if you just start at the basics. But my students are all new and don't know anything. So we're going to start at the basics. All right. No, I don't want to see notifications from Duolingo. So this is kind of how a lesson goes. It starts off by making it very easy. It wants you to say the cat. And if you have eyes, you can see a picture of a cat looking at you with rage in its eyes. It's a gray cat. And if you can hear that, they pronounce the word for you. So this is le garçon, l'homme, le chat. And you click the check button. And it says, yay, you got it right. You are a genius and you are not terrible. Okay, then it asks you to do the man. Now, what if you don't know the difference between a man and a boy and you pick the wrong one? This is what happens. It yells at you. And it should, because that was really easy. Then it moves on to more advanced shot. And if you highlight it, it tells you what each word means. So is shot is cat. You can hear it being played. So cat. Now let's say that was incredibly confusing to you. And it just made you die inside a little bit because it was so hard. The discuss button, not disgust, but discuss. And it'll show a discussion of this very lesson. And I guess I need to create a profile for this. So let's go through that. How old am I? Yeah, you can go. So my age, what is my age? I'm going to lie. I'm going to say I'm 47. My name is Roger. And I'm just going to give my school email and some random password. And then it'll probably tell me my password isn't good enough. Email already taken. Great. So I'll use a garbage email, which some guy. Well, it needs to be an actual email I have. That's your email? I'm not creating an account with your email, young man. Oh, I have 4 too. I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to reveal. Okay, my most garbagiest one is my Facebook email, which is L's fake Facebook email at gmail.com, which I never log into. Privacy is important. Okay, so I've signed up. Yeah, no, you don't need to save that. It says choose your path. Just kind of Duolingo looks like. Again, you can take a placement test, or you can do basics. At the top, you can see it's given me a name. My name is Roger. And there are other little things tracking going on here. Okay, so let's start again at basics one. Chat, le garçon, boy, l'homme. Okay, ooh, now we're getting complicated. It's two whole sentence segments. So, a cat and a man. Wow, challenge. A boy and a cat. Okay, a man and a cat. Look, I've completed my first lesson and I've gained 10 experience points. Wow. Hit continue. And I got an achievement. Yes. And there's an ad. Unfortunately, Duolingo now has ads. It didn't used to have them, but you know, it's just how it is. Say that was very confusing to you. You can click on the lesson you're currently learning and click on the little light bulb and it will explain the grammar behind what you just learned. Each lesson has different levels. So Basics 1 has 4 lessons. You learn all 4 of those lessons, and then you can repeat them over and over and over and over and over. So you max out this lesson right here, and then you're an expert and you're better than everyone and you have bragging rights. So that's pretty great. Or you can hit the little key and test out of it. So if you don't know any French, I don't recommend this. A girl is eating a croissant, etc. A cat and a dog, etc. Je suis un homme. A horse, wow. You are eating an orange. You are, oh, it should be are you. Are you a horse? My students are doing this with me because they're just awesome. What does that mean, class? I am a woman. Good. A cat is eating a croissant. Good job. What is that? Okay, well, only one of these is a French word. And it's boy. Good. I'm just trying to get through this so I can show you what it looks like. A cat and a dog. My students are way too advanced for this. A woman and a man. Now notice how there's hearts up here. If you get 3 wrong, you lose all your lives and you can't test out and you have to do it sad way. So make sure you know what you're doing. This is hardcore. This is not for, well, it is for beginners, but you know, it's not for the weak of heart. All right. You are eating a croissant. I am a boy. A boy is eating a croissant. Almost done here. A man is eating. You are a cat. I'm not saying all these sentences are great, but it's French. Hooray! I've tested out of 1 skill. I'm on level 1. Yay! All right, so as you can see, I've unlocked the next 2 lessons and it continues all the way down to the bottom. Now I'm going to log out of this fake account I've just made into my real account. Hopefully it works. Okay. All right, so here's the account I use. As you can see, I've started learning Swedish because Swedish metal is the best metal. But I've also done French. I'm waiting for it to load. So here's the French tree. I haven't completed all of it. I've done at least 1 lesson in each one. When you get to the end, you get this beautiful little trophy It tells you how amazing you are. It's signed by the Duolingo team. You get a flag. You feel great about yourself. All right, so I'm going to show you some of the features of Duolingo now. You have your crown level, which is you can show off how many little lessons you've completed. You can flex your muscles and brag to people. Your daily goal is here. So my daily goal is 10 experience, which I have not met. I don't know how many days you've met that goal. My record's 100 and something, but then it became too much pressure, so I skipped a day on purpose. You can practice everything by hitting the practice button. It'll practice everything you've learned. There are some achievements. I don't really care about this. There's a leaderboard. You can add all your friends. Or for me, I added some students who I haven't had in a few years, and therefore, none of them have done it. Okay. There's a words section where it shows you all the words you've learned and how good you are at those words based on your use of them. I don't think this section is incredibly useful, to be honest, as a teacher, because there isn't a good way to sort them or separate them. You can't separate them into masculine or feminine. It's kind of trash. So I actually recommend using something different, such as a flashcard app for the word section. There is a forum. So you can go to the forum, go to Duolingo, let's go to French, because that's what we are, where people ask questions and others answer them. It's beautiful. This person is complaining that Duolingo penalizes you for making mistakes. It's the internet. Labs. Internet is beautiful. These are some optional things I haven't tried yet. There's a podcast, stories. I know the Apple app has a way you can talk to French people and all that beautiful stuff. Go to your profile, see what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. Gives a streak. There's a little store where you can buy things that aren't super useful with the little gems you earn. All right, so this is Duolingo. Basically, for me, this is the best way to practice a language, to give to your students for supplemental practice. How I use it is for extra credit in my class. And in order to do that, I need to introduce you to Duolingo for Schools, which offers a way for teachers to put their kids in a classroom and kind of monitor what they're doing. The downside to Duolingo for Schools, thank you, is it doesn't usually follow your own curriculum. They have their own order for how things should be learned, and it's very different from how the average French teacher teaches it. So they might be learning things they don't need to be learning yet, and then not learning other things for a long time. So I already have a link to Duolingo for Schools. So here is what it looks like. Okay, as a teacher, you can have them check your email and get registered as a certified educator and get, look at this beautiful certificate. I'm so proud. Okay. But the basic thing you can do is create classrooms. Now I have a separate one for French 1 and French 2. I am going to make a sample classroom. So I'm going to name my classroom. What should I name my classroom? Daniel is awesome. Fine. My students are studying French and they speak English. The fact that they assume they're learning Spanish to me is just offensive. Not everyone takes Spanish. Okay. How do you invite students? You can create accounts for your students, but I have found that this is scary because they don't remember their information and they're terrible. Okay. I go to share a classroom link. It will give you a link. It'll give you the option to share it on Remind your Google Classroom, and they will get a special code. Now, this is what you do with the code. Depending on what you're using, an app or whatever, there should be a way defines the words progress sharing. So on the phone, it's usually under your settings. Here it is under progress sharing. You enter in the code for the classroom that I have provided, and it'll put you right in there. And please remind your students to use both their first and last name, because if they only use their first name, you may not know who they are. Okay. So download PDF. Oh, look, I did that. Hit continue. Okay, now I have a classroom and I need to invite students, but I'm not going to do that because this is just a lesson. All right, so assignments. Before I go to assignments, I can show you the curriculum and kind of how it goes. It shows you in each lesson all the words that they learn, all the lessons in the basic category, etc. You can look for the tips and notes where it explains how to do that. I'm not sure what a sample lesson is, so let's take a look at that. Okay, so a sample lesson just kind of creates one for you, which is kind of nice. You can assign the skill to students. So let's say I want them to learn animals. I would hit assign the skill. You have a day it's due. Personally, I make them do the week before finals week. So this year, start would be today. Today is September 20th. And then I'll make it due on December 17th at 12 a.m. Schedule assignment. So now all my students have until then to get the assignment done. Okay, so you go to assignments, assuming students are actually assigned to that. Here it is. It'll tell you how many people did it on time, how many people did it late, and how many people did not do it at all. So what I use this for in the classroom is as extra credit, because I don't believe in forcing my students to be involved in 50 different apps they have to remember usernames and passwords for. It's just not reasonable. And not everyone has internet access, so it's an extra credit opportunity. I assign a certain number of lessons per semester, and then to get 100% of their extra credit for the class, which is 1%, they need to complete all of them. You can also have them collect experience points, up to 1,000 experience. From my personal experience, they don't do this, so I've stopped trying to do that. Class activities, there's power practice, where you can practice together, which I've never used. We might have to use that later. Tiny cards, I don't know what that is. Okay. You can look at your settings, you can download a PDF, you can merge classrooms together, you can delete classrooms. Privacy settings, there's a feature called clubs, which in my opinion is clutter and it's not necessary, but your students could make clubs. Discussion forum, it gives them access to the forum. And then there are other things you can enable here. So just enabling all the words, making all the content available. Anyway, this is Duolingo. This is what I use it for. I have a lot of other apps I use, but I found that students really like this one. I do not believe in telling people to like and subscribe my channel. It really annoys me. Question? Yeah, you can go. Does anyone else get really irritated when they're like, please like and subscribe? Like, if they like you, they will like and subscribe. You don't need to tell them. Anyway, sorry. Now that's in my lesson, but that's a rant. So yeah, this is Duolingo. It's pretty great. My students use it in class all the time when they're supposed to be doing other work, which tells me that it is good and effective. And on average, my students who do Duolingo knock it out of the park in terms of actual learning, and they're great in the class. Yeah, there's no contest. Duolingo kids are better than not Duolingo kids. So I highly encourage it. So if you have any questions, leave a comment. But I believe this concludes my beautiful lesson. Hope you all have a good day. Bye.